All right, Jason, thank you. This is it. This is the one we've all been waiting for, the final build of the week. This is the championship build, Kim, and I couldn't be more excited about the two teams we have going head-to-head now.
Yeah, but to get here, we worked through 6 qualifying builds. We had 4 yesterday, 2 this morning to ultimately set our championship round.
Yeah, and we had the rookie builds to kick the week off, so we've really experienced a lot of different things. Now, truly, the best of the best are set to go at it.
Yes, this is a celebration of the collaboration between Hendrick Motorsports and Hendrick Automotive Group. We've seen so much good competition on that build floor, including our last qualifying build, build number 6. So with that, we'll head over to the Valvoline Engine Shop. They'll wrap up any penalties we saw from that build 6, and then maybe give us a little preview of what we'll see throughout the course of the championship build. Roger, Brian?
All right, build number 6, Josh and Ryan on the red team. They had one valve cover nut that was left loose, so that's a 30-second penalty. Brings their total time to 29:42.01. On the blue team, Derek and Charles, you had a clean build. Congratulations.
All right, so as we head into our championship build, again, we're going to see some familiar faces. Scott Vester alongside his partner, Phil Seaton, and then, of course, we've got Danny Emrich and his partner, Bill Sullivan. But this is not the first time that we have seen Scott Vester and Danny Emrich go head-to-head in the championship build.
Between the two of them, 11 championships in this competition. Scott with 6. Danny with 5, and Danny wants to even that up here today pretty bad.
He does. So, again, not the first time we've seen them go head-to-head in the championship build. Let's take a look back at the history these two HMS engine builders have against each other.
We're getting ready for the final run here. We're going for the cup, going for the gold. You can easily see why these guys were top 2 finalists. There's the flip. Here we go, 10 seconds, real close. Lights are on, he's hit the switch.
The winner is
Kyle Kittel and Danny Hendrick, 21:46.
I think this is going to be a rocket pace.
You're seeing the best of the best in both companies. So it's a lot of fun to watch. It is amazing.
It's coming pretty close now.
Oh, Danny!
And your championship team for this year's Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown.
Yeah, good. Catch your breath.
8:29. I'll give him that second. 8:29.
There we go. 9:06.
At this point in time is when they start to have to calculate how much can I get done in a minute.
Oh, no. They had to restart it.
So Danny playing some strategy there. Saw how much time was on the clock. Saw that Scott Vester and Steve Moore had not fired. Knew that he didn't have enough time to finish the nuts and the fasteners. They would have incurred a penalty.
Your champions are Danny and Brad. Congratulations, you did it. 22-31-85 to win.
So if history tells us anything, it's that this championship build is shaping up to be one of the intense builds we've seen all week long. And we went over to the Valvoline Engine Shop, and again, Brian and Roger told us the penalties we saw from build 6. But let's look at that leaderboard to see where those times slotted in. So we had Josh and Ryan with the final time of 29:42.01, and then Derek and Charles with that final time. Theirs was a clean build of 31:04.82.
So it's going to be Danny and Scott at the top of the board, and that's going to be our builders here in the championship round, where for the first time all week we go head-to-head. It's going to be great. So how do we judge this competition? Well, believe it or not, there is a thick rule book to it. Let's show you how we guide our way through this competition.
As is the case with any competition, the ultimate goal is to redeem the winner. In order to have a winner, you need to keep score, or in this case, keep track of time. You also need a judge and someone to assess the rules. Jim Bliss is one of our judges. Jim, talk about the competition. How do we determine just who gets to go to the finals to begin with, and how we determine an overall winner?
Well, we start out with 12 two-man teams,
and when we do the first few rounds, it's against the clock. It's not a head-to-head competition. It doesn't go head-to-head until we get to the finals, and then the 2 fastest teams go head-to-head, winner take all.
Now we talked about the rules.
Right.
Speed is essential, but speed can also mean mistakes.
Yes.
What does mistakes equate to when it comes to penalties?
Time penalties. It goes against your overall time. There's a 2-minute penalty for anything that is not torqued, meaning a main cap, rod cap, cylinder head bolts, and valve train components. Anything else has to be at least finger tight. If not, it's a 30-second penalty for every loose fastener.
Would there be any reason why the build would have to be halted by you, the judge?
Safety concerns. Somebody gets injured, something like that. We see an unsafe situation, we'll stop it. It's safety first and then put on a good show.
Well, Jim, thanks for joining us. It's an exciting competition, and good luck with the assessments. Hopefully we have clean builds all the way through.
From Kevin Weber, our commissioner, to Jim Bliss and his entire judging crew, we've got some amazing guys keeping an eye on the competition, keep it as fair and square as we possibly can. Jimmy, time to start meeting the folks who are going to be going at it here in our championship build. Let's start with your team.
Thanks, Ralph. Fastest qualifiers, Scott Vester, Phil Seaton. Congratulations on setting quickest time during qualifying. Scott, 6-time champ. What will it take to get to 7th?
Start it before he does and no penalties.
You make it sound so simple, but it's not.
We try not to change too much. We had quite a few things that, we just learning each other and where we're at. So just try to clean that up and, try not to get too creative, because then you just make mistakes that you didn't make yesterday.
Phil, you're already a winner. Jerry Hilson Award winner. Huge, huge accomplishment. Congratulations again. What will it mean if you can walk out of here with 2 trophies, the Jerry Hilson Award and the Randy Dorton Engine Builder Showdown trophy?
Oh, it'd be the highlight of my career. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. It's a great honor to get the Jerry Hilson Award, and it's an honor to be here to begin with, and then, to be in position to win is there's not words.
You built first out of the gate, or first day, right? You've had a night to sleep on it, maybe run through some things. What can you improve upon to maybe pick up some time in this final build?
I can be a little smoother, tool management, and just try to stay out of each other's way.
Scott, previously it was race against the clock. Now it's a little bit of a head-to-head competition. Does that change your strategy or what you're looking at from maybe the other lane throughout your build?
Maybe not until you get maybe to the very end. Like if one team's having an issue, maybe you'll tighten up more things before you start it. But, usually we know where each other are at based on sound, so we don't need to look or, all that. So we'll do what we can. We'll be good.
Well, Scott Vester, Phil Seaton, best of luck. Your fastest qualifiers will look to remain on top after this championship build.
And again, Scott Vester holds the record for championships in the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown with 6. But looking to tie that up here today, Danny Emrich, he has got 5 championships, and he's working with Bill Sullivan. Jason.
And so there's not much else we can dissect here other than you tell me, what's this like for you, having done this so many times and still to be in the championship builds?
Well, for one, it never gets old. And I'll tell you, to be in the finals, it's like you're on house money. It's a bonus. I mean, we get to build another time. I get to spend some more time with Bill, and it's just so much fun. I can't describe how fun this is and how exciting it is. I'm very appreciative that Mr. Hendrick's taken it to this level. Your group's taken it to this level. I thrive on that.
You've done this enough to know you have to learn something new. You can't just come in with the exact same knowledge, so you have to bring something with you. What do you learn from each build, or is there something that you've taken away from some of the other builds that help you going forward?
That's what keeps me really interested, because every time your hands are on the part, if you're paying attention, you're learning. You're learning watching other builds. I dissect mine driving home after the build. It keeps it exciting, and the goal is to keep chiseling off seconds each year. So hopefully we chisel a couple this year.
Bill, we heard the automotive guy from last year who was the runner-up talk about the 28 or 38 seconds that he could vividly remember losing during that build. For you, you've done this 4 times. Same kind of thing. Like, what do you gain from each build from one year to the next?
I'll tell you what I learned, especially on this trip, was preparedness. Danny's very thorough. He thinks everything out, and he gave me a template to follow, basically, a path to victory. So
it's perfect for the structured, the high yellow people, that whole template and following along.
That it is. I'm not sure us greens can handle that, right?
No, I don't think so. All right, for this competition, just as all of our qualifying builds have done, they're going to do a coin toss to determine which team is going to build on which engine. Again, the engine's identical, but there's small things that make preference for which build floor you want to work on. So we're going to toss it down to Kevin Weber on the build floor for that coin toss.
Thank you, Kim. Danny, you want to help out here? All right. I'm going to flip the coin. Bill, you want to call it in the air?
Heads.
Heads. It is tails. So Scott, Phil, they're going to build on the red engine. Danny and Bill will be on the blue engine. Congratulations, guys. Good luck. Kim and Ralph, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. I believe we had 3 coin tosses today, and they were all tails, weren't they?
Yes. So, again, we want to reiterate the engines are identical, but there are small things that make one build floor preference over another. I know some teams don't like to build right in front of all of the competition, all of their colleagues sitting front row there on the blue build floor. And then, you know, you've mentioned some air circulation is better on one build floor versus the other.
Know, right?
There's small things that make, again, preference on which one they choose, but they are identical engines. And to learn more about the engines our builders will be working on, let's head over to the Valvoline Engine Shop where Roger and Brian are standing by.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, this is the big show. This is what we've been waiting for. So Danny and Scott, they've gone head-to-head before. You want to forget about the clock, but you can't forget about the clock. Last year it was within 13 seconds between each other. What are your thoughts, Brian?
These guys are going head-to-head. I don't think they're even thinking about a clock unless they start thinking about what's the record time. I think that's the only time they're going to even think about the clock. Other than that, all they want to do is beat the guy that's next to them and make sure that it's a clean build.
That's the goal. Clean builds. We need both of these builds to be clean for sure. So it's going to be exciting. Let's get it going.
The 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builders Showdown just moments away. Well, they are in the midst of their 5 minutes of uninterrupted time, final opportunity for them to talk over a little bit of strategy, get their thoughts together, get composed, get ready to go. While they do that, we're going to go over to Jason Seahorn, who is standing by with the man whose name is on every building on the campus here, Mr. Rick Hendrick.
It is, indeed, yes. Mr. H, I know you cut your teeth as a mechanic. You began this whole process fixing cars. What's it like to go from there to here in your mind?
Well, Linda and I were just talking about how amazing this is. You know, for a lot of reasons, it brings the automotive group and motorsports together, and celebrating keeping Randy Dorton's, you know, name alive and his legacy here. The technicians are such a important part of what we do in the automobile business, and to recognize the best of the best, bring them here and have this competition, pair them with the engine builders here, and there's a tremendous amount of competition. You know, I see all these guys from motorsports, Scott, and I think he's a little uptight. I think watching his interview, he might be just a little, he might be a little bit uptight. Danny, they said Danny was sandbagging, so we don't know, but it's, what is it? Is it how many wins? 6.
Hopefully 6.
Oh, okay.
He's counting ahead.
Well, I see Jeff Gordon over there. Maybe we need to get Jeff Gordon to build one of these celebrity builds or something. You're a driver, not an engine builder, right?
This thing's going off script fast. So the other thing that that you really emphasize is competition and culture. This thing really promotes competition, obviously, and the culture of the automotive guys and how they go back to their dealerships and spread this, and then also for your racing guys. What's that like as far as seeing the Randy Dorton name come up and still be around, you know, 20 years later?
Well, I think if it wasn't for Randy Dorton, I'm not sure Hendrick Motorsports would even be here. Randy was more than just the engine builder. When we started, it was like 5 people. And Randy had this little engine company, and he helped direct motorsports. So we owe him so much. And then the dealership started with about 5 or 6 people, and motorsports started the same way. Now we're almost 11,000 folks, and it's been streamed. Not any pressure for these guys, but it's been streamed all over the country. So it's really what's so important is recognizing the talent that we have in the racing. if those engines don't perform, both in reliability and power, we don't win. And in the dealerships, you know, the contribution to parts and service is unbelievable. So just to bring the cultures together and recognize the talent we have in both places is so special.
Well, they have a saying, they say, if you build it, they will come. So you've built it, they've all come. It's turned out to be a hell of a success, so congratulations to you and everybody else in the Hendrick organization.
I'm just glad I'm not having to build. I want to watch. So
it's time to watch.
Okay.
Yes, we are just about ready to go. Mr. Hendrick's going to get in place over here with Robert Taylor and Kevin Weber, and we'll be ready to go with pushing the button. If you're just joining us now, this is the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builders Showdown, the final build, the championship build, the one and only head-to-head competition. Number 6 going against number 5 as far as championship wins. This is going to be drama-filled and highly intense. All right, looks like we are ready to go. Mr. Hendrick, thank you all, sir, for having us here once again this year to enjoy this great competition. Please get us underway. And Mrs. Hendrick joining us as well. All right.
Are you ready over there?
We're ready.
Get ready. Get set. Go.
The championship round of the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown is underway. On the blue build floor, we have Danny Emrich, 5-time champion, with his partner Bill Sullivan from Hendrick Toyota Wilmington. And on the red build floor, of course, we have Scott Vester, 6-time champion, and his partner Phil Seaton from Hendrick Toyota Miriam.
Basically, we have 20 minutes of controlled chaos about to unfold. The times they both ran for their qualifying builds were in the 23-minute range, Kim. Both of these build groups capable of quicker than that, especially now they've had a chance to dissect their qualifying build.
Yes, and this is a head-to-head battle now. While you do want a fast time, the clock matters less. It's can you beat the other team, and can you do it with a clean build, no penalties?
Roger, we heard Scott talking about we hear what the other guy is doing. I'm guessing one sound that you really want to hear that you'll know is that oil pan. It has a very distinctive sound. That'll tell you exactly where your competitor is at.
It certainly does, you know, and it's interesting. If you hear the flywheel, you can tell the sound of the flywheel. You can tell the sound of the torque wrench clicking. These different pieces and components and metals, they make different noises. But it's part of the chemistry and the partnership, the teamwork. I mean, that's what's beautiful about this competition too, is these relationships will continue to go on long after these builds. But they team up. They really have good chemistry between each other, and it all comes down to teamwork and communication, time management, tool management, all the things we've been talking about over the last couple of days.
Hendrick Automotive Group competitors are Hendrick certified master technicians who also have this year's very best customer service scores. Hendrick certified master technicians pass a yearly one-of-a-kind Hendrick Automotive Group tailored automotive services excellence exam. And of course, we recognized Phil Seaton earlier for the highest ASE score with that Jerry Hilson Award. He's building with his partner Scott Vester on the red build floor.
Scott and Danny both working on the front of the engine right now. Well, Jimmy, we got 6-time and 5-time going over here building engines, and you got 4-time with you over there.
Definitely someone who does not require an introduction on this campus. Jeff Gordon, Vice Chairman of Hendrick Motorsports. Thank you for joining us. We were just talking off camera. We got carried away, but just how amazing is this event?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, to be able to see the teamwork that goes on. I mean, a lot of these guys have never been teamed up before. Also the passion and the preparation that I see. I know on campus, a lot of our folks in the engine department, they get very excited about this week and you know what it presents, the opportunity, how great it is to have it here on our campus, and how much they look forward to getting teamed up with a technician, and how quickly they can kind of gel and build the chemistry so they can go win this competition.
Jeff was confirming, he said these techs from the automotive group side and the motorsports side just started building in the last day or so, correct? They haven't practiced. And yeah, but we were talking about how great the cohesion is between both sides of the organization. When you came on board, driving the 24, we really saw Hendrick Motorsports go from an excellent organization to a dominant organization. What have you seen change over your tenure here with the group?
Yeah, I think, you know, everything that Mr. Hendrick has really brought to the automotive group side of things about structure and culture, sharing of information, that's really been transferred over to the motorsport side. The more that we work together as a group, the more we share information. You know, it's more about how can more people get together and be smarter together than individually. And I think if you look at our success, that's one way that has just continued to step forward and progress and really just be kind of the heartbeat of Hendrick Motorsports. Now, when you sit in on meetings and you see how we go to the racetrack, you know, knowing that we're one organization.
Now, 14 total Cup Series titles, 4 courtesy of you. Obviously, a team effort. We have now surpassed 500 total national victories for Hendrick Motorsports. Congratulations on that. Mr. H always talks about leading by example. How has he been a mentor to you with your new role as vice chairman?
Yeah, I think that, you know, one, I've been able to be around him long enough, and you did bring up something I definitely want to highlight. What a great year it's been for Hendrick Motorsports engine department this year. I mean, yes, we've got the 300 wins from a Cup team side of things, but the 500 wins as engine builders is huge in the sport. And still going strong. So we love to just continue to raise the bar. But no, I mean, working alongside Mr. Hendrick, just, you know, the way that he treats people like family. He loves to allow people to showcase their skills, but he also knows, hey, you're only as good as the people that you work around. Surround yourself with good people, and you know, just live every day by kind of that servant leadership, you know, of how can we all grow together, work together, and continue to raise the bar. And the only way you're going to get torn down is from the inside, not the outside.
Well, Jeff, thank you for joining us. As you corrected me, 500 wins for the engine department, 300 in Cup, 14 Cup titles, hopefully 15 in 2024.
Right now, the gap between our two championship build teams, just about 30 seconds. That's how close it is. Quickly could be wiped away with the penalty. And again, we'll see that fluctuate throughout the course of this build because they take different approaches as they go through this engine build.
Roger, we were talking about the sound. Scott was talking about that before the build got underway. As they toss those rods away, are you counting in your head? Okay, I've heard, if I'm Scott, I've heard Danny throw 4 to the ground, so I know how many more he's got to go.
Oh gosh, if they're doing that, they're better than I am. But there is a sequence that these rods have to be pulled through there because the crankshaft has to be turned in a certain position, and you just saw the red team do that. So you might be able to count 4 per side, but these sounds when you hear those rod pullers fall on the ground, you could know that that's what it is for sure. But so far it looks like they're head to head, and they're running down those rod bolts, and those are critical fasteners, so they will have to follow through and come back through with a torque wrench and torque those 2 specs to avoid any penalty.
Jimmy, one thing I'm seeing that I think is kind of interesting is Bill Sullivan is actually working on the table while Danny is working on the engine. He's getting a piece ready to go so that when Danny's done doing what he's doing, they don't have to make up time. It's already halfway done.
From this angle, it looks like Bill Sullivan might have been connecting the lifeline, so that's going to be providing the power to that engine for both sides. But right now in the blue lane, it looks like the lifelines have been connected. I cannot see if the coil packs, from this angle, it looks like the coil packs have not been connected like we saw Josh Spear do in the last qualifying build. Just to point out, we're about to hit the 8-minute mark. Both teams said the goal would be around the 9:30 mark for a flip. They would feel that they were on track for what they're hoping would be a fast build. Some of these competitors will pick up time once the build flips, as we see the oil pan going on about 1:20 quicker than we've seen in any of the qualifying builds so far.
Yeah, that was at about 8:09.
So if you get those oil pan fasteners run down and the starter installed, you will be ready to flip. So
there's the second oil pan going on.
Within 20 seconds of each other.
Oh, yeah. And again, remember, the engine has to run for 60 seconds, and then we have to go through the teardown process to see if there's any penalties.
Where I know that's what's tripped up Scott Vester in past builds, Jimmy, is those penalties, they can add up quickly.
Penalties have hurt some of the teams throughout the qualifying rounds this year as well. So 30 seconds at minimum for any of the small mistakes. What did we say in that great movie Days of Thunder? Loose is fast, but on the edge you're out of control. And we're very much on the edge right now, but trying to maintain control. Wanted to talk about the coin flip. As we have an engine flip at 9:09. 9:09, that's the quickest engine flip by at least 20 seconds so far in this competition. The way that the lanes were selected, actually both teams got their preferred lane of choice. Scott and Phil preferred the red lane.
As we see that second.
And so about 15 seconds difference between the two. Danny Emrich preferred the blue lane. And in fact, all 5 of his victories have come out of that blue lane.
Okay.
Boy, these guys are quick.
And what do they get when they do find victory in the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown? Well, each member from this year's winning build team received one of the incredible NAPA toolboxes on set with us today. In addition, the runners-up, they don't go home empty-handed. They'll take home one of the versatile mobile NAPA tool carts featured in the Valvoline Engine Shop. So we want to thank NAPA for their support of this year's competition. And, of course, you can always learn more at NAPAonline.com.
The other thing they're going to get is a good night's sleep because they're going to be worn out after this.
We're seeing a little different strategy. Dan Emrich's putting in that cam sensor timer first before any of the cylinder heads went on. We saw Phil Seaton over in the red lane putting on the cylinder heads before Scott Vester inserted that cam sensor. So 2 small variations in strategy. We'll see which one proves to be more profitable.
But the gap,
we'll see if they both got it right, too.
Yeah, the gap right now, as we're predicting the engine builds to be completed under 10 seconds, an 8-second gap between the two teams.
Kim, they've been at it for almost 11 minutes, and the gap is only 8 seconds. Unbelievable.
We've got something wedged between the cylinder head and block on the blue team over there. I don't know if you can get a close-up of that.
Change sides over here in a second. Get this head on.
So that could cost them.
Okay, get that head on right here.
We will have a replay of that.
Here it is. What do you see, Roger?
It appears they actually forgot to put the lifters in prior to putting the cylinder head on.
That is exactly what it is. Yeah, they simply won't clear. So they pulled it back off to put the lifters in.
That could be a huge shift in momentum right there.
Yeah. Yeah, these components have to go in sequence, otherwise they simply don't have the clearance to install. You can see him putting the washers on the cylinder heads now. I mean, we've got a lot of fasteners on this engine, 117 nuts, 86 bolts, 36 washers, 243 fasteners altogether. It's a lot to keep up with. And they get mighty, mighty slick.
I was talking with Greg Anderson earlier today, and he was talking about Scott Vester with that torque wrench. It's like, he's like a machine gun with that torque wrench, how fast he goes with it.
Like a machine gun with those speed handles too. You know, something new for this year. You see the color-coded sockets that interchange with these wrenches. That was an idea that was brought by Chris earlier today or yesterday, and it saves a lot of time because you don't have to ask for 5/16, 3/8, ½ inch. You just simply ask for the color of the socket. Chris Marock came up with that, right?
like Mr. H mentioned, this is being broadcast all across the country, people watching from home, but also Hendrick Automotive Group, dealerships, collision centers, shops, all tuning in to cheer on their teammates who have made the trip to the Hendrick campus to participate in this competition. And so again, we welcome you guys to the broadcast. Happy to have you guys tuned in.
$13:40 on the time right now. The gap 2.56, down to 40 seconds. Changing all the time, Kim.
I'm good. You'll drop down and get your header behind you.
You're hearing communication from Danny to his teammate Bill. Again, it's always amazing to watch the Hendrick Motorsports engine builders do their job, but also keep track of what their partner from the Hag side is doing.
First of the two headers going on for the blue team.
And we see the push rods.
Back here, this one.
Now remember, if they were building this engine, Jimmy, for a race weekend, they would be taking their time, maybe up to 30 hours or so, to put the engine together exactly the way they want to meet all the tolerances they need to be competitive for a 500-mile NASCAR Cup race. Here today, we're going to do this and fire it up and run it for 60 seconds in probably about 22 minutes or less.
Yeah, and fortunately for us, this is the race. It's the building of the engine that is the race that we're all here to see. And one thing to point out, so Danny Emrich confessed to me that last year during the championship build, he made a mistake. He started putting the push rods in before he put the rocker bar in, and that cost him some time. So if there might have been a hiccup over there in the blue lane, that doesn't mean that they should be counted out. Danny Emrich is more than capable with his partner Bill Sullivan to make up time. I've been watching over here, Scott Vester and Phil Seaton. Despite, I'm sure they're listening, at least out of one ear, about our broadcast and knowing there might have been a hiccup in the other lane, they've been steady on their plan and have not even looked up to see what the other team's doing. So they are trying to be as efficient as possible and just maintain their pace.
Look at that intensity on Scott's face.
Yeah. We've got some great shots being shared from around the country, different dealerships tuning into the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown. We'd love to share with you guys.
Having a great time cheering on their teammate.
And again, during this championship build, Bill Sullivan representing Hendrick Toyota Willington. So a big hello and hey to his folks back home. And then Phil Seaton, Hendrick Toyota Miriam.
Come in next year. Don't use brand new nuts on the rockers.
Oh, snug.
Too way too stiff.
Looks like the valve.
The all-time build record, 21 minutes, 40 seconds. So we'll see how these teams stack up if they want to break the all-time record.
Kim, before this build, both competitors didn't really have an eye on that 21:40. They were aiming to shave about a minute off of their qualifying time. So if they could get around the 22:30 mark, they thought they'd be in contention for a victory. But this pace so far, 21:40, is not out of the realm of
No,
possibilities.
it's achievable as we reach the 17-minute, 20-second mark now.
Good job.
Boy, this is close.
They're so well matched. To the valley tray. Scott just put down.
Boy, you got some of those.
And you heard his partner. Did you put the oil in?
Yep, making sure, right? Don't want to have to go back.
And And again, as we talk oil, we want to make sure we recognize our partner Valvoline, the official lubricants partner for Hendrick Automotive Group and Hendrick Motorsports. They are presenting today's broadcast. You can visit Valvoline.com to see how their drive to innovate makes an impact in every single product they develop. And then Danny putting their Valley tray on in the blue lane.
I'll torque this. You want to get the header on that side.
Danny's going to torque all that down. He told his partner to go ahead and work on the header on the other side.
The gap under a minute between the two teams as we hit the 18.5-minute mark in the championship build.
We're starting to see how both builds are progressing just slightly differently based on strategy. Header's already on over in the red lane. Valley tray cover going on in the red lane. The blue lane seemed to be ahead when it came to the Valley tray, but their headers are going on second. The valve covers were on first in the blue lane, but again, headers went on second. So we're starting to see some different strategies. From a timing standpoint, I would say we're still within 30 seconds of each other, which could mean one penalty could make or break this championship.
And don't forget, we have seen a tie in this competition years ago.
Yes.
And Robert Taylor has designed the timing system to go beyond just the normal seconds. We can get down to tenths and hundredths of a second. So if we have to, we'll do that.
And last year's battle just as intense as we saw Scott and Danny competing in last year's, with Danny coming out on top. But the difference between last year's times in the championship build, a mere 13 seconds. So when we say every second counts, we mean it.
Both intakes are in place. If they can get the fasteners run down on the intakes, they can put coil packs on. And when we see that, we are very close to starting those engines.
And we just hit 20 minutes. That engine has to run for a full 60 seconds. I remember last year Danny started it and then stopped it.
He realized he needed a little bit more time than it was going to offer in 60 seconds.
Just keep working away, okay? On it. Give these guys some encouragement.
Saw Danny take a quick look as he moved around to the other side.
That is an advantage of that lane. Based on how these engines are both positioned, typically the Hendrick Motorsports competitor is on the left side of the engine at this point in the competition. So one of the reasons maybe someone would select that lane would be able to look over and see where the competition is. If you're on the right side, or excuse me, on the red side, you're constantly looking over your shoulder to try to find the clock or to find your competition.
Roger, they're both doing coil packs at the same time. We are very, very close on this.
Yes, we are. All eyes will be on the gauges. As soon as that instrument panel comes to life with power, the button's going to be pushed really soon after that.
And that's the instrument panel on the pit box behind the engine. Connecting those lifelines.
Ignition leads.
Get that on.
Getting close.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Danny first. to a 22:57.37. Unbelievable. Now, were they clean?
Almost identical times in
that's
this
incredible.
championship build. Wow.
Gentlemen, that was absolutely amazing. 22:56.46 to a 22:57.37. Literally a second apart after 22 and a half minutes of building.
And I believe the fastest times we've seen all week.
Oh, by far. Gentlemen, that was absolutely incredible.
If that didn't get your heart racing, I don't know what will. Again, both running for 60 seconds now. The big question, do our builders think that they had a clean build? Because they could easily rack up penalties. But man, what a close build here in the championship round.
And you think racing on the track is exciting, right?
Right, less
Holy cow, that's amazing.
than a second difference firing those two engines.
Well, let's start with the 22:57. Jimmy, looks like your guys are ready to go. How does Scott and his partner feel about it?
We'll let them catch their breath here for a second. Wow, what a build. Scott, Phil, congratulations. How do you think it will hold up?
I mean, we're clean, but the key wasn't in the cam hub, so that cost me like 10 seconds, but you know, it is what it is. Part did a fantastic job. Everything he said he was going to clean up on, he did. So, and that's, I mean, pick up another 34 seconds, like that's pretty realistic. So he did an awesome job. I'm proud of him.
Phil, I saw you using the speed handles. You look like a veteran out there. What were you actually able to pick up on for this build, and did you know how fast you were going throughout this process?
No, I had no idea. I was just plugging nuts and bolts, going after it. So that's all he can do.
So when you hear the clock start and they say go, does the world just go into micro focus and you're just staring at the parts in front of you? How do you maintain your pace at that point?
You just keep it moving forward. That's all you do.
Well, Phil, Scott, congratulations. Phenomenal show. Jason Seahorn, you have another phenomenal team in front of you who are currently the leaders after this championship build.
Currently, so clean?
I feel like that. I really do. Believe it or not, it did not look clean, but I think it's clean.
No, it looked pretty good. So you absolutely forced this hand. I was watching you the entire time. You were on this side of the engine looking over. Talk about that a little bit, strategy-wise, when you press the start button.
Yeah, I mean, this is completely different than qualifying rounds. You're literally racing your competitor every year. So I'm a mirror driver. I got to watch him the entire time. I mean, Scott and Phil are extremely quick, and you got to get really creative.
You got creative. Bill, early on you had some issues with the header. What happened there?
The header?
Whatever it is.
Cylinder head. Yeah, we put the cylinder head on before.
You tell me.
Yep, we'll call it a cylinder head. Yep. But the lifters weren't installed yet, and there's not room to do that with the head installed, so we had to regroup pretty quick and remove the head, start over.
So this is one of those things where you could have been even faster. Oh, sleep on that one. Well, as of now, they won.
Hey, it's not a matter of how you get the W, but did you get the W, right? And joining us now, a man who's helped a lot of our technicians get a W, Steve Knutson, here with us from our friends at NAPA Auto Tech and NAPA in general. Can you believe what you just saw out here today?
My palms are sweating and my heart rate's 120.
You and me both, right?
I'm not lying. That was unbelievable, phenomenal. They're pretty competitive guys. I've gotten to know the guys at Motorsports. Watch out. They're competitive.
Well, the good news is, regardless of how they finish, they're both going home, both the winners and the runner-ups, with some awesome gifts from NAPA.
Yeah, we saved the best for the last year. We're going to send them home with some toolboxes and some carts, but we've also kind of filled those drawers.
You did? Oh, look at you.
With some tools.
Wow.
Courtesy of NAPA Tool and Equipment. You know, good tech, good tools, good results. Right?
Absolutely.
So congratulations. That was... my heart is still pounding. That was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
There's all kinds of cool stuff in those boxes. You always come. You're a sneaky guy.
Well,
he's always got tricks up his sleeve.
I'd say we got some good folks in the NAPA organization, and we're very proud and humbled to be partners with the Hendrick organization. We enjoy it every day. It's a great partnership.
We love having you around, Steve. You always make it fun for us, and you always bring something neat for the winners and the competitors, and it's been great to see.
And congratulations to everybody from the junior build, the rookie build, all the way up to here. Everybody that makes it here is a winner.
And that was a big part of NAPA this year, too.
Yes, the Rookie Engine Builder Relay presented by NAPA we had earlier in the week. It was awesome to see such young talent that we hope ultimately become Master Certified Technicians and compete in the big showdown. But why does NAPA come back year after year to be a part of this event?
Well, I think, first off, there's not another event like it. Second, I think the organizations together, we look to the future. I've had this conversation with Roger. The techs are our future. And, you know, future is what you're going to make it. So why not stay diligent and vigilant and have good ones?
Well, we could not do it without NAPA and its support.
Steve, thank you very, very much for everything NAPA does for us here.
Good to see you guys again.
Throughout the racing season, and, of course, with all of our technicians, getting them all ready to go with the NAPA Auto Tech program. If you're interested in a program in the automotive industry, check in with HendrickCareers.com. Find out what's going on with Hendrick Careers, and then learn how you can get involved with the NAPA Auto Tech program. Get your training going, get your ASE qualifications, get the money flowing, right?
Yep, and we mentioned the runner-ups won't go home empty-handed either. Over in the Valvoline Engine Shop, I know Brian and Roger have their eyes on some of the cool things that the runner-ups are going home with too.
We absolutely do. We've got tool carts here, and they happen to be filled with some pretty neat hand tools as well. But these are sturdy, good looking, and quite a lot of capacity. What I tell you? Some pretty neat hand tools there. So not too shabby. I'd like to have one of those myself. They're pretty nice. But Brian, you know, the first two builds that these guys, these teams did, they were clean. And as close as the clocks are, right?
This is incredible.
It's going to come down to are these clean builds or not? I mean, what are your thoughts?
We talk about it all the time throughout this entire event of are these things together, hand tight, torqued properly, all the fasteners, all the right parts and pieces in the right spots, no penalties. As we know, penalties are what will kill you in this, kills you on the racetrack, get you here too. So we're going to wait and see what happens.
Well, they both started right up, and it's incredible to be able to put it together in that time and not leave something loose. But they're going to go through the teardown process, inspection process. They'll let us know shortly.
We'll see if Scott and Danny are correct, saying they're both clean.
Back to you, Kim and Ralph.
And good thing Robert Taylor redesigned the clock system here, right?
Right.
Because we needed it this year for sure. Jason, you have a special guest as well.
Special? Oh, just Brian Porta. Oh, with his fan section.
It's a fan club.
So, you know, we're talking about, I mean, this is pretty fun to watch these technicians and whatnot, but we're always at a deficiency of hiring technicians. On the side of the HendrickCars.com, it says now hiring technicians. Why is that?
Well, the advantage of us being partners with NAPA, when we do get our technicians, we've got a tremendous path for them to go into the shop. So as we saw the rookie builders yesterday, it was great having them here. To qualify for that, they had to go through the NAPA program. We have 4 modules, each one a week long, and our tremendous instructors were here yesterday. Our NAPA partners are still with us today. It really shows our technicians that we're investing in them. And I know you being an athlete, you having a plan when you were a rookie, having someone investing in you, giving you the guide to make it into the shop, is what we're doing with our technicians. So we pay for all of their ASE training. The NAPA Tech training program that they go through, we pay for from the university's perspective, so we're really pouring into them. Mr. Hendrick talks about how our people are the most important asset, and we're proving it whenever they have the opportunity to be in the classroom, have it paid for, and then they have extra opportunities in the shop.
So that was, you know, the rookie build that we had. There's a lot of ongoing training for them. But even for the guys that have been here for 10, 15 years, there's still ongoing training for every single one of them as well, correct?
Absolutely. They have their manufacturer's training that they do, and they have the opportunity to continue to get the ASE support. Especially in North Carolina, we have a lot of state inspections and certifications they have to acquire. We work with our local community colleges to provide that. And the great thing about it, NAPA's worked with us so wonderfully, all of our classrooms are just our technicians. So we don't have to worry about other companies coming in and coming after our people, that they're private educational settings, and we make sure that our people are taught with our culture and able to continue to be successful.
Talk a little about the resources. You talk about our classrooms, what that looks like to somebody who hasn't seen Hendrick University.
Well, the great thing we do have a Hendrick University, 14,000 square foot facility that we're able to train our people in. And this NAPA Tech training program, it goes around the country. So all of the regions where we have our stores, we have centers set up. A lot of our stores share their space and allow us to do the training inside the stores. So it's local. They're not having to travel. They're able to minimize out of shop time. Therefore, they're able to continue to turn and earn, like Roger likes to say.
If you're a technician, you want to turn and earn with some support, sounds like Hendrick Automotive is the place for you.
You know, there are so many great career opportunities within the Hendrick organization, whether it's on the motorsports side or the automotive group side. You can learn a lot about the opportunities you have here with the Hendrick career. Let's show you a little bit more.
I'm proud to call myself a Hendrick teammate.
We look out for each other.
We are family.
I find it really fun and rewarding to get those cars that are really difficult. Maybe they've been in a couple times and no one can seem to fix them, or it's a really intermittent problem, and being able to find that and fix that for the customer.
See the vehicle go through its process, and then at the end make a customer happy knowing that their car went from being completely wrecked to literally being brand new.
I think the biggest thing about Hendrick is the people.
I come here and I enjoy my job every day, and I really think it stems from the top because the culture here, everyone's part of the team. You feel it from the top to the bottom of the bottom.
Parts department advisors, sales, technicians, we all try to work together to make sure that we're getting things done efficiently, correctly. We are one big team.
Just the amount of care that they give to the employees and their community around. I don't see any other dealerships doing the kind of programs that we do to help. I mean, it's just, it's incredible the amount of care that he puts into the employees and the community around us.
I'm proud to work for a company
that puts people first. It's not any way.
It's the Hendrick way.
Insurance and benefits plays a lot bigger role than anything else. Having that, in the back of your mind, not worrying about it, is huge.
I have a daughter and a son that's 28. They both received the Ricky Hendrick Scholarship Fund when they was going to school. If anybody knows, if you got kids and you're trying to put them through college, it definitely, anything helps.
My favorite thing about working here is that they're willing to send you to training. I've learned a whole lot. I've already got 3 of my ACs now. Just really nice working for a company that is willing to invest in you.
Hendrick covers 100% of any ASE testing that you want to take, as well as all the manufacturer training.
We really strive to hire the best of the best technicians. Whether they're already experienced and trained or whether they're just graduating from a tech school, we really try to hire smart, and then we want to build on that. And so I think the difference between us and another company could be that we don't skimp on training. Training never ends.
To take somebody that's right out of technical college and be able to see them grow and be able to get on their own and start producing hours and their own work is very, very rewarding to see that come about.
I am a direct reflection of what this shop has to offer because when I started here, I had absolutely no idea about fixing a car. And just throughout the years, I've worked with different technicians that are strong in certain areas, and I've been able to just kind of acquire this big, broad knowledge of vehicle repairs. Some of the times I'll walk by a technician and they'll be doing something similar, if not exactly the way that I was doing it or the way that I told them to do it. It's kind of one of those proud moments because you walk by and you're like, yeah.
So the earning potential with our company as an automotive service technician or a collision center service technician is quite tremendous. I mean, it's really up to the individual. Think of it like this. You learn, you turn, and you earn. In the learn bucket, get all the knowledge you can. Build your arsenal of credentials. So with the knowledge, you're going to have a higher level of hourly rate. You're going to have a better ability to produce and turn hours. And so that's going to equal earnings.
The reason you want to come work here is we have new facilities. We always have tool trucks rolling around. The benefits, huge. The steady stream of work, we never have an issue. I haven't slowed down in the past year and a half, but also that team setting, knowing that you have a big name behind you, you can hold your head up when somebody asks you where you work. This is where I work. I work for Hendrick.
A lot of great opportunities there,
Yes.
Kim, if you want a future in the automotive industry.
You can visit HendrickCareers.com. And again, we thank you for tuning in to the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown presented by Valvoline. This week is all about the collaborative effort between Hendrick Motorsports and Hendrick Automotive Group, but it's also about celebrating the legacy of the namesake, Randy Dorton.
No doubt about it. I was fortunate enough to get to know Randy. We tragically lost Randy, and this has been a tremendous event in his honor, keeping his spirit alive. And Randy was all about setting the culture of this campus that is known as Hendrick Motorsports. That has bled over into the Hendrick Automotive Group, as you just witnessed here with these incredible times as these competitors worked together as teammates and battled their colleagues on the other side over here. Let's show you a little bit more of who Randy Dorton was.
It's great that we get to do this in honor of Randy Dorton. I think that's what this is all about.
You know, Randy Dorton was an engineering genius. He was an innovator, and he did more than just the engines. He helped build this whole company, and no one was loved any more than Randy Dorton.
You know, he's always been considered the best.
Randy's motors have made drivers out of a lot of people.
The engine shop you see today was Randy Dorton's dream. Keeping that dream alive means a lot to these guys, means a lot to me.
Randy was a great friend and kind of like a father figure. A lot of the stuff that he taught me, I'm still realizing today.
You felt like he was really mentoring you. You know, his culture still lives on here.
It's very important to us that have been here and carry on his legacy and try to feel, you know, that there's part of Randy Dorton with us every day when we come to work and when we leave.
He's looking down at us right now and he's got a big smile on his face, I guarantee you.
Well, we will be having our award ceremony here in just a few minutes, but don't go anywhere. We're just about set with whether or not there are any penalties, and let me tell you something, it's going to be incredible. We got a sneak peek, but we're going to make you wait just a little bit longer.
Don't go away. You're watching the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown presented by Valvoline.
Hendrick. Introducing Hendrick Fastpass, the easy way to take control of your car shopping experience. Just visit HendrickCars.com and choose your vehicle, calculate your payments, apply for financing, explore vehicle protection programs, and get a value for your trade-in. All from the comfort of your home on your timeline. We can even bring the car to your home or business, and you can do the final paperwork there. So go ahead and give it a try. Hendrick Fastpass, where you're in control.
We are about more than just a logo on a race car or a patch on a fire suit. We are something different. We're living up to a 150-year legacy that came before us. A lineage of speed-loving, boundary-pushing, and never stopping. It's more than just a community. It's a mindset. Passion fuels new thinking for what sets us apart. It's refusing to define ourselves by what's in the rearview mirror, and always moving forward. A tireless pursuit of the next bold thing. Overcoming the fear to attempt something great. Because being original is about more than just being first. It's about refusing to settle.
The customer relationship
is so important.
We learn, we grow.
We're family.
Service department, this is Jessica. I am a service advisor. I advise on any maintenance car services needs. So face-to-face time with several different personalities, customers, and just getting to meet all types of people.
And then on the Hendrick Car Care package, my role is to give them that Hendrick experience. I get to help people, and I get to help them overcome an issue.
You know people can rely on you. People call me directly all the time on any of their hardest needs, and you get to have that one-on-one relationship where they're not going to take their car anywhere else because you're building that trust. So once you build a trust with each customer, I think that's really rewarding.
It is not any way.
It's the Hendrick way.
Culture at our store, I would say, is very unique, very different from any place I've ever worked at.
We treat everything as a team effort. The mindset of either succeed together or fail together. There's no one person that is here for themselves.
People care. You're not just an employee number. You're not just a punch card in and out. Mr. Hendrick really appreciates all his employees, no matter what level, benefits, 401k.
All of my children went to college, and each one of them received the Ricky Hendrick Scholarship.
Most companies now aren't doing that. He wants to give everybody an opportunity to grow in this company. This is not a company that's a fly-by-night, that's going to be shut down tomorrow. This is something that's been around for a long time. We see he is loyal to us. He knows he's going to have loyal employees to back him.
I feel like what is very special about working here, apart from other dealerships, is that our management really makes us feel like they care about us. They really get to know each person individually. They really value our growth and where we see ourselves going in the future with Hendrick Automotive, and that's really important to us.
The mentorship here is very good. When I first came here, I'd never worked at a dealership before. I'd been in the car business. Having people to guide you and to mentor you through everything, and they have molded me into the person I am today and why I'm so successful.
Being a service advisor, you have unlimited source of income. It's all on you. The opportunity is there, and it's great.
And I've exceeded every expectation I've ever had.
If you get the opportunity, take it. Hendrick is such a good company to work for.
When I joined the organization, I really felt like I hit the pinnacle in my life where I can really say, I'm going to enjoy this experience. 16 years later, here I am saying the same thing, and I feel the same way.
With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers across the country, NAPA has America's largest network of parts and care. Here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Hendrick.
Electric? Hendrick has it. Choose from over 600 new electric vehicles available today from the brands you love, like Audi, BMW, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and more. Plus, many new Hendrick electric vehicles come with a free home charger. And for a limited time, get lease credits up to $7,500 and make no payments for 90 days. Electric? Hendrick has it. Learn more at hendrickcars.com.
My name is Andrew Vaught. I am a master refinishing tech, aka a painter. Because when I started, there was 3 Andrews, and I got frustrated, and I wear a white paint suit most of the day. So somebody hollered it out. So Steve, hey buddy, I got that Jeep ready for you. Do you want that inside?
Yeah, I have it inside. You don't mind putting it right there.
Okay. I don't dread coming to work. I really look forward to coming to work. And a lot of people in the world today can't say that. All right, brother. It's all yours. Yes, my family, my wife, my boys. I got some letters that my kids wrote me. Anyone that's interested in getting into the industry is, number one, you have to like cars. And you have to like feeling accomplished, seeing something wrecked and then fixed. I mean, that is one of the most gratifying things is seeing a car that you've painted on the front line, knowing that it's right and it looks really well. Everything that I do, I have with me at all times, so I know what jobs I have going on. The faster I can do things at a great quality, the more money I make, the more money the company makes, the happier everybody is. So it's all about production. I mean, they call it a production shop. So as soon as we can get a car.
Welcome back. Thank you for watching this year's Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown, presented by Valvoline.
Now it's time for the final results of the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown presented by Valvoline on Racing America.
All right, Kim, we've got the paper here. Why don't you begin? Let's see if there were any penalties with these incredible times.
All right, so with that, I do think we need to invite some special guests down to the build floor. So first up, Kevin Weber, engineer assembler from Hendrick Motorsports.
Jeff Gordon, vice chairman of Hendrick Motorsports.
Rick Hendrick, chairman and CEO of Hendrick Automotive Group, owner and CEO, Hendrick Motorsports.
Roger Meesemore, vice president of fixed operations for Hendrick Automotive Group.
And of course, before we announce the winners of the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown, let's get a quick remark from Mr. Hendrick and what he witnessed during that championship build.
You know, I don't think I know there's a winner, but I hate this. Nobody's a loser with 9/10 of a second. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that the guys are that good, but amazing time, close to a record. But I'm amazed to watch the talent of both the engine builders here at Motorsports and the technicians working together, not being with each other much, but coming out here and putting these two motors together 9/10 of a second apart. It's unbelievable.
All right, and with that, it's time to announce the winners of the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown presented by Valvoline. So let's start with, were there any penalties? We're going to look first at Scott Vester and Phil Seaton's time. They had a 22:57.37. It was a clean build for Scott Vester and Phil Seaton. So that time stands.
That's amazing, gentlemen. Okay, so Danny, Bill, you guys had a fire time of 21:56.46. It ran for 60 complete seconds. Final time 22:56.46. As Mr. Hendrick pointed out, just 9/10 of a second quicker than Scott and Phil. Any penalties? Header bolts, clear. Thumb screws, clear. Valley tray bolts, clear. I'm sorry, I got to do it. I hate it. I know, Scott, it's terrible. Intake bolts, clear. Oil pump bolts, clear. Breather cap, that one was good. How about those engine support struts?
The final one.
Danny Emrich, Bill Sullivan, the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Champions. Congratulations, a clean build, 22:56.46. Just incredible, gentlemen. Absolutely incredible.
So again, Danny Emrich from HMS and Bill Sullivan representing Hendrick Toyota Wilmington are our first place team, being awarded the NAPA toolboxes, and they're standing right there on the build floor. This marks Danny's 6th championship. He now ties Scott Vester for the record number of championships in the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown.
Of course, these beautiful NAPA toolboxes behind us here. Kim, going to go home with both of them.
What a fantastic job by all of our championship round builders.
Beautiful trophies here today.
Okay, perfect. All right, and let's bring up our runners up in the Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown for 2023. Scott Vester from HMS and his partner Phil Seaton representing Hendrick Toyota Miriam, Kansas.
Kim, they're going to be awarded also those beautiful NAPA toolboxes, which have been over there with Brian and Roger in the Valvoline Engine Shop.
9/10 of a second separated the runners-up from first place. I got to imagine Scott Vester's going to lose sleep over that for the next 364 days.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Wow, it's just amazing. Hey, Jeff, just wondering, how many races did you win by 9/10 of a second? Only a few? Much bigger because of Randy Dorton's engines, of course, right? Yes.
We are going to hear from both our winning and runner-up teams, so we'll give them a second to make their way to the Lumar interview.
I think Jimmy's about ready to go. Jimmy, you got first place guys with you.
Wow. What a finish. What a championship, Bill. Danny, Bill, congratulations. Bill, did you expect to be here when you got off the bus 2 days ago?
No, I didn't expect to make the finals. I was hoping to, trying to, but this is experience. Big surprise.
We saw a little bit of a mishap early on. How did you call an audible and make up some time?
Well, Bill actually encouraged me when I said, "Oh, Bill, I'm sorry, you've been doing so good," but I just pretty much set us back. We got our work cut out for us, and Bill said, "I know we're going to be just fine." So we put our heads down and went to work, and man, I'm so proud of him. He did awesome. And then all the people in Wilmington, I know you're yelling and cheering right now. Well, he deserves it.
This is your 6th title. Yes. Where does this one rank?
I'd say, they're all number one, but this is number one. It's hard to beat, really, but they're all special, really are.
Bill, how heavy is that trophy? I have to imagine the lactic acid's been building up in your arms over these builds. Is a good sort of heavy right now?
It's a good sort of heavy, but my hands are still very oily, so this is difficult. Yep. Try not to drop this again.
Well, we'll let you go sit down and enjoy this victory. Danny Emrich, Bill Sullivan, congratulations, your 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown champions.
Just amazing.
Amazing. Every year we wonder how it can get better, and this year it probably topped them all.
Before we sign off from here, we should give a tip of the speed handle to Kevin Weber, Jim Bliss, the entire judging staff, all the guys, Sean, and all the guys that have been working over here on the build floor, making sure those engines are that good so we can have that level of competition this week. Well done, guys. Well done.
Absolutely. So again, we thank you for joining us for the 2023 Randy Dorton Hendrick Engine Builder Showdown. Congratulations to Danny Emrich and Bill Sullivan. That concludes this broadcast for the celebration. If you would like to continue watching Victory Lane, you can head over to hendrickebs.com. For guests in-house, you'll just stay right where you are. Our full award ceremony coming up right after this quick break.